Hi, thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to show you how to make a 8x8 square quilt block. And what I've used is the clear flower die that we sell in our Stampin' Up! Catalog. This video is really for all the ladies that's going to swap with me. Right now I'm hosting a swap for demonstrators only, but when I return from convention I'm going to host a swap for all of my customers and friends. So this video is going to be like kind of a start to finish of how to make your blocks. So here is my entire quilt top, and you can see this on my ChicnScratch blog. Okay, you're going to start out with the fabric from the store, and I've kind of determined that 3 yards will get you 80 8x8 blocks. Okay, as long as you cut your fabric right. So what I did was I cut all of my fabric in 8-inch strips, okay? And then now I'm going to cut again at 8 inches, but what I first need to do is trim off this edge here. So I'm going to line that up. Okay, so this part that's bad, throw that away. And then now I'm going to cut these in 8-inch sections. Now I'm lining it up on my grid here at 7 and then at 8 or at 15, and that gives me 8, okay? That way you can see what I'm doing. If I put it down here at the 1, you wouldn't be able to see it, okay? So there's 2 pieces that measure 8x8. Then I'm going to do that again. Well, I need to get it on the 7, don't I? And then this last piece, I'm going to open that up, and I'll iron that eventually. If I wasn't in a hurry, I'd probably iron it now before I cut it, because that would give me a better cut. But I've done enough of these that I'm just going to squash it. Okay, so that has given me 5 8x8 blocks, and I determined with my 3 yards that I could get, I think it was 82, okay? So if you mess up, you might want to get more than 3 yards. This is the die that we're going to be using, and this is the fabric that we're going to use on the flower, okay? So what I need to do is get a 5-inch strip. That's what I've determined the size that I want to run this through the Big Shot. So I'm just going to fold this over and line it up. And this time I'm going to line it up on the 10. Wait a second. I got to make sure that this is straight. Okay, so that's a 5-inch strip. So what I'm going to do is fold this over at the 5. Now with this clear flower, I have found, and I'm just going to keep folding it over the 5. You can cut up to 8 layers with these dies, but I found that these clear dies, especially these petals here, it can stick a little bit. So just make sure that you don't forget your cardstock on the top, okay? So I'm going to position, well, I'm going to turn this so that this is hanging down there. I'll put my Big Shot here. This chocolate paper or cardstock, that just is a sham, so that makes sure that the blade goes through the fabric, okay? Reach in. You might have one that sticks, kind of like that. You don't want to pull that because then it might mess that up. So just take your scissors and cut it, okay? Now that's just scraps. Okay, so now this is 8 flowers that I have ready. I'm going to take my block here. I'm going to use my glue stick. And then you just slop this thing right on here. Okay, and then the next I'm going to take it to the machine and I'm going to sew around the petals. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay, this part of my video I'm going to show you how to stitch around your flower, okay? So what I'm going to do is position the edge of the flower here to the inside edge of this piece right here. This is foot number 37. Okay, so I'm just going to lower my foot. Now I'm going to push the button to keep my needle down. So that means anytime I raise or I stop the sewing, the needle's going to always stay down, and that's kind of important when you're making these flowers. Okay, now I don't normally sew with my hand. My foot's up here with my hand, so I'm going to try this. Oh, pretty good. Okay, so then I'm going to make a little bit of a turn. Now, because I'm not using my knee to raise the foot, and I'm not using my foot for the presser foot, I'm going a little slow here. But normally when I'm sitting down at my sewing table, it goes much faster. Plus, I'm not teaching then either. When I get to this point, I raise the foot, turn it, pivot just a bit, go one piece over, and then completely turn it, and now I'm ready for the next petal, okay? And I do have the speed turned down on this because I didn't want it to just completely take off on me while I'm showing you this. On this project we are going to have raw edges. I kind of like that look, and since I'm a beginner, we're going to go with it. As I continue on this path, we'll get more complicated as we go along, but for now, I like this. Okay, I'm not going to make you watch me do the whole thing because, as you can see, it's pretty easy. And look, there you have it. So, if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks a lot. Bye.